Need something?
Yes?
Ain't every day we get visitors in Riverwood. Whatever you need. Buy Ismir if it's simple and strong. I can forge it. Gerder's family first settled here as woodcutters a few generations ago. She and Hod run the mill. I make a decent living sharpening axes and fixing the sawmill. Good day. You want something?
Did you need something? Need something?
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything. Or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
Are you listening? The ale is going. We need to get in the
Can I help you? I'm Mandin Hlalu, representative of the great House Hlalu of Morrowind. I'm here in Skyrim on urgent business. I doubt it, but thank you for the offer. The kind of help I need. I need someone with power beyond measure. That it would. In fact, I've been trying to get in touch with you, but it seems my letters never found their mark. Couriers these days. Back to business. As neighbors, Skyrim and Morrowind share more than a border. Our fates are intertwined. We must look out for one another. As such, when a famous criminal from Morrowind was spotted in Skyrim, I was dispatched by House Hlalu to find him. However, he is too deadly for me to face alone. I need a hero's help. And a fee this hero shall have. Does 1,000 septims pique your interest? Excellent. I'm glad we could come to an arrangement. I tracked the criminal to a village southwest of here called Little Vivek, but after that, the trail went cold. However, you may have better luck. Not only is he a fearsome combatant, but he is silver-tongued. If he begs for his life, do not believe a word he says. I will continue my investigation elsewhere. I have another lead I'd like to explore. I'll be sure to contact you if it bears fruit. Wait, before you go, take this ring. The criminal is known to wield enchanted blades, and this may protect you from them. Happy hunting, Dragonborn. And many thanks. You are doing both Morrowind and Skyrim a great service.
You looking for something or what? It can't be helped.
You're that visitor been poking around. Word is Ulfric Stormcloak escaped from the Imperials. War's only going to get worse now.
It would seem so. It's all in this note. Need something? All right then.
We got rooms and food. Drink, too. I cook. Ain't much else to tell. Here, take a look at this. Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter. Have you seen that shrine of Azura? They say the Dark Elves built it after they fled from Morrowind. Sight to see. Of course. It's all in this note. Looking to blow yourself up? I hear that's what magic does to you. There's a college in Winterhold that teaches magic, unless that blew up too. Be a lot safer just to have the Jarl's wizard teach you a thing or two. Of course. It's all in this note. Need a room? Talk to Delphine. Of course. It's all in this note. I'm just a cook, lass. Nobody trusts those mages way up north in their college. Gods only know what they do up there. Word is, Ulfric's Stormcloak escaped from the Imperials. War's only gonna get worse now. We've got something of a love triangle here in Riverwood. Faendal and Sven, both vying for Camilla's affections. Word is, Ulfric's Stormcloak escaped from the Imperials. War's only gonna get worse.
Yes.
Faendal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling him. Truly? So maybe my mother isn't crazy after all. You had best tell the Jarl in Whiterun. He needs to know about this. Camilla Valerius knows I'm the best man in Riverwood. That elf is kidding himself if he thinks she would choose him over me. I've seen him sneaking over to the Riverwood trader to speak with her when I'm not around. He's wasting his time. You may be right. Camilla may see Faendal as little more than a friend, but why take chances? Here, give Camilla this letter. It's full of venomous nonsense. Tell her it's from Faendal. That letter ought to convince Camilla to never speak to Faendal ever again. That letter ought to convince Camilla to never speak to Faendal ever again. At the Bard's College in Solitude, they train bards and skalds like myself. If you go there, talk to Viarmo. He's the headmaster. Lucan's got a little bit of everything at the Riverwood Trader. If you need weapons or armor, see Alvor, the blacksmith. Sure. What can I do for you? Ah, a fine but bloody tale. I can do that one. Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came riding to Whiterun from old Rorikstead. And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade as he told of bold battles and gold he had made. But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said, Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed. And so then came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal. And the braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
Yeah? Yes?
What do you want?
Riverwood's agreeable enough, I suppose, for a Nord village. What is that blowhard up to now? So, he thinks he can turn Camilla against me. Two can play at this. Here, give this letter to Camilla and tell her it's from Sven. Let's see what she thinks of him after reading that.
Greetings, stranger. The name's Hjormir, and I'm at your service. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Perhaps you need your boots shined, or your tunic washed, or need a letter delivered? Well, maybe you need someone to chop you some firewood, or brew you an alchemy potion. I think I have a recipe lying around somewhere. That's right, and I assure you, every service I offer will earn your complete satisfaction. In fact, I could be your personal assistant. I could wash your clothes and carry your equipment. Consider me your personal pack mule. Really? I'll do everything you ask. Just say the word. I'm of age, and a man grown. I can grow whiskers on my cheeks just like any old Nord. People treat me differently because of my station, but they still respect me as a man, which is more than I could say for my father. The last time I saw the old toad, all he did was bark orders and gripe. He complained my pheasant roast was overcooked. He nearly slapped me when I poured his beer and left a less than frothy head. And then he berated me the entire time I cleared his table. Yeah, but at least when he's eating he keeps his mouth shut. The worst part is afterward, when he starts spouting racist nonsense. Elves poisoning our food. Elves stealing our children. And don't tell them there's a difference between the elven races, let alone Altmer and Thalmor. They're all Thalmor maggots to him. Listening to the old man makes me ashamed to call myself a Nord. You're probably right. That's the only thing satisfying about the work I do, that he has to tell people what became of his son. Granted, he probably lies and tells people I joined the Stormcloaks, or that I died in some heroic battle defending Skyrim from the Thalmor menace. The sad part is, my ambition isn't that far off from his ideal. Adventurers and soldiers both require courage, only the battlefield is different. My mother is a kind woman. She always compliments me on my meals and tells me how proud she is to have me for her son. That's its own dilemma. When even I can tell my potage has no flavor, it's tough to appreciate the kindness of her words. While lies of deceit are born as spiders and die as flies, white lies can wilt like a rose and leave nothing but thorns. Just one, a sister. A real snobby bitch and obsessed with gold. Saving it, to be precise, which would be fine if she had a sense of humor about it. Whenever we went to the market in Whiterun, she'd always harass the vendors until they gave her a discount, just to make her leave. Poor Carlotta. Here she was, trying everything in her power to feed her children, and my sister shakes her down for every last septum. When we left, I told my sister if there was one thing she didn't need any amulet or potion for, it was to become a master of cheap craft. That pretty much severed whatever relationship we had. My sister holds a grudge as tight as she holds her coin purse. And I've had enough of talking about them, as it were. At least to anyone who isn't a patron. If you're asking if I specialize in something, I'd say I do just about everything. For instance, I used to help Sven chop lumber. That is, until the day he almost lost his hand at the sawmill. Wasn't my fault, he ran into me. But he hasn't asked for my help since. Same with Delphine. She says I broke too many dishes. I broke maybe 3, at the most. Ha! That woman seems sweet on the outside, but beware. She has a real mean streak, too. Gerder, though she'll vouch for me. And the blacksmith fellow. I forget his name. He taught me how to strip leather down. I'm guessing he would have hired me as his apprentice, but I think he knew I was destined for more. I know what you're getting at. I hear the whispers. But the only pattern I see is one of versatility. I mean, I'm no fool. Yes, I can be clumsy, and Mara knows I'm not the best cook. But that's only because I'm not really concentrating what I'm doing. And why should I? It's not as if the lumber chopping and dishwashing is a mentally exhausting skill. I figure I can do that stuff while I fill my head with greater pursuits. The most noble pursuits that any man can endeavor. Vanquishing vampires, beheading warlocks, and saving damsels from the claws of despair. Whenever I work the bench, I imagine I'm hammering my foes into submission. Whenever I deliver a letter, I imagine I'm charging the battlements of Fort Greymore. Sometimes, when I'm in the middle of a job, I'll accidentally whisper under my breath, something like, "Die, you dastardly bandits." Oh, you should see the look on my patrons' faces. Although it's kind of like the face you're making now. Ha! You sound like my father. Where were you 18 years ago on the 14th of Frostfall? I'll tell you what I told him. I don't plan to go out into the wilderness unprepared. I've been in countless fights already. In fact, I'm fighting right now, even as we speak. Thinking about my next battle, I'm entering the fall forest when a Spriggan emerges from the trees. Her form is beautiful, and we stop to admire each other before I unsheath my weapon. Her body glows with bundles of light, as if a group of torch bugs dance inside her hollowed chamber. It's a frame made of solid oak, flesh stronger than any shield. But it has a weakness. I reach for my wine bottle, and I can almost see her wooden mouth twist into a smile. Then she realizes, as I tilt the bottle, the substance inside is viscous, moving with the consistency of oil. Her fears are confirmed when I pour down my blade, as Spriggans fear only fire.
Mara bless you for agreeing to help us. Another poem, I bet. He does know how to make a girl blush. What's this? If that oaf thinks all I'm going to do is stay in that filthy house of his and clean, You can tell Sven that he already has a mother. I'm not speaking to him anymore. I don't want to talk about it. We had a break-in. The thieves are up in Bleak Falls Barrow. Perhaps this is a matter best discussed when the claw back where it belongs. Good luck. Lucan and I will be waiting for you back in the shop.
Riverwood's agreeable enough, I suppose, for a Nord village. I appreciate your help. Please, take this. Some gold I've saved up from working at the mill. Lead the way. Can I help you? I'm at your service. I'll head back home if you need me.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out.
You lost?
You in need of a companion, friend? Well, then you're in luck. I reckon I've killed more men than there are minutes in a day. When do you find time to eat? Can't kill bandits on an empty stomach. Well, you could, but I wouldn't recommend it. I got my start as a pit dog in the Imperial City Arena. Worked my way up to Gladiator before I got bored and quit. They say the best techniques are left by the survivors. With me gone, I guess everyone will have something to offer.
This is a local favorite and one of the first
I
songs
know,
I've ever learned.
and I would have been Grand Champion too,
There once was a
if
hero
not
named
for the
Ragnar
burden.
who
Oh,
riding
I know what you're thinking. Fair maidens in my bed and good stew in my belly. Some burden. Well, that ain't what I'm talking about. Well, friend, it all comes down to who your opponent is. I'm square with killing men, but with a grand champion, ain't no more men to fight. So, they bring in beasts, minotaurs and things, but don't like it one bit. If a man chooses to enter the arena, it's what you call his prerogative. A beast ain't got no say in the matter. I kill horkers for food and bears for hides. I don't kill no animal for sport. The horkers, my friend. The horkers. I can't get enough of a good bowl of horker stew. Fresh garlic, tomatoes, a sprinkle of lavender. You jest, but there's nothing like good horker stew. It ain't like the loaf, which is a bit chewy and marinated in that ocean flavor. But you put that in a stew, toss in a little garlic, and all that ocean brine melts into pure flavor. That isn't it. You see, I've tried stews of all different flavors from all over Tamriel. I've tried your venizons and your steaks. I've tried your bug meat, your horror pies, and Taurus nuggets. Some wood elf charlatan even tried to sell me what he called a wyvern steak, but it tasted like mountain goat. I've tried every meat, from the Somerset Isles to the shores of Solstein, and ain't nothing compared to a fresh pot of worker stew. But you know what I haven't tried? I haven't tried a dragon. And call me crazy, but I think I saw one fly this way not long ago. You don't say. Sounds like Embry owes me a drink. Said I was more likely to see a horker with wings. I reckon that would be too good to be true. It's all in the hips, friend. Killing a bandit is like making love to a maiden. It only takes a second, and there's no shortage of blood. Well, friend, I'm a warrior, not a gentleman. If you want one of those, talk to Sven. Although bringing him along might not be a bad idea. I've only heard the full chirp once, and I already want to kill myself. Why not? You need to get out more, friend. The arena is the most celebrated spectacle in all of Tamriel. To fight and die in the arena is a great honor. To fight and live, well, do that and you carve your name amongst the gods. 'Cause it's fair. It's about the only place you can truly measure a man's worth. If I ask the folks here who has the best mead in Skyrim, one person might say Blackbriar mead, another might vouch for Honningbrew. If I asked for the best alchemist, bard or scribe, or which inn was warmest, and which wench the sweetest, there'd be many replies, but no answer. But if I asked you who was the strongest, who could best any man in the pit, there'd be no debate. You'd know by who was left standing. Only in the arena can a man be judged by his own merits. You're mistaken. It couldn't have been higher. The people were hungry, not for blood, but for entertainment. The arena, friend, was a welcome diversion from the throes of war, because there's no death in the arena. Not to them. If you're a spectator, ain't nothing that happens in that pit real. It's all a game. The words won't do it justice. Not mine, anyway. But you can imagine, can't you? That moment when you stand behind the gate in a cold sweat. The air's so thick you can taste the blood. The crowd is buzzing. The flies are buzzing. Then they wheel up the iron. You hear this roar. So loud it rumbles in your chest. You don't know who they cheer for, what they cheer for. Victory, glory, or death. But that's the beauty of the arena, ain't it? Nothing's ever written, nothing's ever known. The grand champion can win 100 matches and name a skeever as his next opponent, and the audience will still hold their breath. Unlike the stories, it's always a surprise when the hero wins. 'Cause in the arena, the hero's allowed to fail. Can't tell you much about that. I mean, I heard the whispers.
Sometimes you see good fighters lose to pit dogs. Next day, they show up with swords so enchanted they crapped mages when you swung 'em. There was one Khajiit fighter, the others called Jingle. Said every night he went home, win or lose, his pockets jingled with gold. But ain't no one ever approached me. They knew where I stood. I grew up watching the fights. I learned enough then to know glory was the best coin. You ought to travel to Cyrodiil sometime, friend, and test your valor. If what Gaiden Shinji says is true, then the best technique is to swing your hammer recklessly and hope to connect. Works for me anyway. Let's go.
Yes? This isn't a good time.
Is there something I can do for you?
What do you need?
Whatever you need. My spirit is simple and strong. I can...
An inn. Where are we sleeping? And more importantly, what are we eating?
Need something?
Hmm.